Any man or woman who forgets the day of their wedding anniversary is an asshole of the highest order. It's meant to be one of the most special days of one's life, where they and their significant other pledge to be with each other, through thick and thin, hot and cold, and by the most sovereign of authorities, are united in holy matrimony. And then 1 year later, either the bride or the groom just go,
"But for me, it was Tuesday."
What insensitive bastard would do that? Oh, that insensitive bastard. Why am I not surprised? Nah, I'm making too much of a fuss about this. Today's episode is The Fuss. That was unintended, I swear. Richard and the kids are loafing around in the living room on an ordinary afternoon. Somehow their laziness incurs the wrath of Nicole. I don't know why, it's just another day in the life of the Watterson family. No, the reason she's pissed off is that today is supposed to be a special day. But rather than be transparent with her family, she just decides to drop them hints left and right. Wait. I noticed something there. Let's rewind the episode by just a little bit.
You're being a bit hypocritical here. You can't be angry at someone for forgetting something if you can't even remember their name or what they—
What the fuck? Is that Jacob Hopkins and Terrell Ransom Jr.? That's not supposed to happen. Sheesh, Cartoon Network. Broadcasting consistency, please?
We're very, very stupid.
I mean, what else could you possibly do that's more idiotic than this? Okay, Cartoon Network. You are really getting on my nerves. Now let me clue you in. Cartoon Network, anong tingin niyo sa amin? Akala niyo ba na bobo yung audiences niyo? Akala niyo ba na hindi namin mapapansin tong mga kagaguhang ginagawa niyo? Hindi kami tanga, Cartoon Network. Itong impormasyon na to, hindi mahirap hanapin. 1 minuto lang sa internet at malalaman na namin tong impormasyon na to. At kung ganyan yung ugali niyo, na mas marunong pa kayo kaysa sa amin, edi, hindi na lang namin panoorin yung channel niyo. Actually, hindi ko yan gagawin kasi GumBomb yung paborito kong series niyo. Na pinatunayan na wala kayong respeto sa audience, lalo na yung mga bata. At malay mo, baka mas matalino yung isang bata kaysa sa inyo. So hanggang mababago yung ugali nyo, palagi kong ibabanggit na maling mga ginagawa nyo. At hindi ako titigil. Lahat kaming mga critics hindi titigil. Whew! That felt good. Now let's get back on track. As I was saying, instead of being transparent with her family, Nicole just decides to drop them hints left and right and kick up a fuss in general. She remains optimistic that her family is just playing coy with her. But after a series of misunderstandings, she finally believes that they don't remember why today is special, and she is devastated. Whether out of fear, guilt, or both, Richard and the kids try to find out this special occasion. Meanwhile, Nicole, still upset by her family's ignorance, sorts out the laundry on the clothesline and breaks into song.
Dirty socks and filthy clothes, when all I wanted was a sweet red rose. And how could anyone forget or fail to see why I'm upset? He made me laugh with things he said, but now he can't remember the day we—
Wow. Best shortest song ever. I've always known that Teresa Gallagher had a beautiful voice. Almost as beautiful as mine. #vanity. And hearing her sing as Penny has been nothing short of wonderful. But this ballad-style composition truly does her justice. I'm all for making characters vulnerable as a means to make them more sympathetic, and this is a great example of that. It's too bad that the song is only 9 seconds long. Ben? Teresa? If you're by any chance watching this, do you think we'll ever get a full version of this ballad? I'm curious to know. The reason Nicole doesn't finish the song is because she wants her family to remember this day for themselves. Her explanation for her treatment of her kids and husband is quite jumbled, if you want my honest opinion.
Why did you say we shouldn't be making a fuss if you get all angry about it when we don't?
No need to make a fuss is a thing people say, but they obviously don't mean it. It's all in the subtext, like when someone says, "I'm only 2 minutes away." We should stay in touch. Or, "It's fine, honey."
Nicole, you do realize there's a term for that, right? It's called reverse psychology. Look it up in a dictionary, or Google, or whatever search engine it is that you guys use. Since Nicole refuses to comply and say why she's so bothered, the family endeavors to make it up to her by throwing the most generic and ambiguous party ever. Just to be on the safe side, the song they sang for her is a medley of classic public domain songs.
Today's so very important, it doesn't come very often. For reasons you thought we forgotten, today is all about you.
It's such an important day! It's such an important day! Happy Tuesday to you! Happy Tuesday to you! Happy Tuesday, dear Nicole! Unless it's kind of sad too.
If you don't mind, I'd like to contribute to your little ditty. Today is a very special day. It can be so in any which way. Sorry, I'm just in the singing mood lately. Hey, if the writers want to include musical numbers for 3 episodes in a row, then you bet your ass I'm gonna sing too! Understandably, Nicole rejects her family's sincere, if not half-assed efforts. They notice her focus on Richard in particular. Richard tries his damnedest to remember what the oh-so-crucial occasion is, going well beyond his limit and reaching into the deepest recesses of his mind, whatever help that actually ends up being. Turns out, not at all. What can you do? You gave it your all, Richard, so A for effort at least. Anais goes into the kitchen to talk to her mother, while Richard and the boys brainstorm on how to make up for the former's forgetfulness. Dude, that is freaking scary how she's just nonchalantly slicing up that cutting board, though I question its animation and the unsynced sound effects. A moment ago, Richard suggested getting themselves a clue, and by God, Anais has just found a very important one.
It's November 1st, our wedding anniversary.
Since when do swans have nipples?
What the hell is with this show and its use of the word nipples? It's a funny word, I'll give it that, but... Huh?
Now that's fucked up.
And here the word is being uttered by Anais, who is 4 years old.
4 years old.
What?
More importantly, how come this show gets away with mentioning the word and not Adventure Time, which technically has a higher rating? TVPG to be exact. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this. So the stunning revelation is that it's actually October 11th and not November 1st, like Nicole assumed. Meaning, no, it is not their wedding anniversary today. But what I don't understand is why the family has been following that one calendar on the fridge and that one calendar alone instead of other more accurate calendars across the house, or their ignorance to the matter up to that point. I thought to myself that Richard and the kids were using a laptop during the start of the episode, and it's going to have a calendar. Surely they must have seen what day it is on that laptop. By God, Richard even acknowledges here in this scene what the correct date is.
I don't know what's so special about October 11th, but I know it's an important day to your mother, so I'm going to make sure I never forget it again.
You see? You see that? That is a glaring oversight that I can't just ignore. The Wattersons may be dysfunctional as all hell, but they're not ignorant enough to forget what day and time it is right now. Here's hoping that the writers have caught on with this plot hole. Embarrassed by her own blunder, Nicole admits to everyone that she's wrong. If she can.
So, it turns out I was...
What?
You know, I was...
Spit it out, woman. But it's going to take a lot more than an apology to make up for her mistake, as Richard has taken a very drastic turn to appease his wife, getting a tattoo. Yeah, you better hurry. Now we get to the highlight of the episode, the split screen race against time. It's a great sequence to add to Gumball's growing catalog of fourth wall breaking humor. This use of split screen is clever in that both scenes shown here do not take place at the same time. It's either one or the other, and the scene that's currently taking place is the one in color, while the scene that's currently paused is the one in grayscale. It's also unique in the way that the dividing line is being used here, as an actual on-screen object that obstructs the family's general field of vision. It's a take on a common storytelling device that I don't see that often. On top of this, it's additional confirmation of the lingering theory that Gumball probably exists outside of the fourth wall, or is the figment of one's imagination that's given enough sentience to act as its own entity, becoming its own separate reality in an already infinite list of alternate realities. The family gets to the tattoo parlor, but Richard's just finished getting the tattoo. On his ass.
Wow, that was weird.
Good thing that Richard has a better head between his shoulders than what we see.
Aww, just kidding. I know exactly how to fix this.
How?
Now I'll never forget to think about you every day. What do you think?
I love it.
Aww. What a nice way to wrap things up. Lazy and deadbeat as he may be, you can count on Richard to bring a smile on his lovely lady's face. It's one of his brightest spots as a character, his love for his family, and it's the reason why his portrayal in this episode was great, as was the whole family's for that matter. Yeah, half of the reason why he was trying to appease Nicole is because he's afraid of her, but deep down he's also guilty and concerned, like any good husband should be. The other thing that I give this episode props for is it knows that every member of the family has their shortcomings and doesn't gloss over them. Nicole and Richard are neither in the right nor in the wrong. It's all one big misunderstanding that makes them vulnerable in a way that enables them to grow closer as a married couple. If you say that Nicole is being petty in this episode for expecting her husband to remember the day of their wedding, let me remind you that forgetting about a very important day, much less a wedding day, is an all too common problem in marital relationships, up there with losing a wedding ring and forgetting to pay the bills. Nicole's disappointment is quite rational, given who she is and what she has to put up with on a daily basis. The gags are as great as ever, notably the multi-song medley and the split-screen sequence. The smaller jokes also hit the mark, like Richard holding up a boombox playing Nicole's ballad and the string of assumptions from Nicole that leads to her ultimate disappointment, specifically the IRS singing telegram. That's a clever way to break the bad news to someone. I did find umbrage with the elementary level plot hole that was the entirety of the upside down calendar on the fridge. That sort of oversight is definitely on the writers, and it translates poorly into this episode in that it makes the Wattersons come off as careless, Nicole more so than the others. Guys, there's more than one calendar in the house. Surely you can tell that one of them is off compared to the rest of them. More importantly, it feels like such a cheap way to escalate the plot to its high point, as entertaining as it was. But if I can be frank about this, it's a small price to pay for a lovely Watterson family-centric episode. The fuss is a 4 out of 5. A definite step up from the potato. The heartwarming scenes here are poignant, the humor spot on, and so are the characters. Touching and hilarious as it was, it's not on the level of heartwarming as the shell or the choices, or the level of hilarious as the roots or the blame. Still in all, the concept was simple and relatable, and it was realized from beginning to end. One more episode for the first week of GumBomb, and we'll be taking a short break to look at a recently aired revival that's been a long time coming. And I do mean long. As long as, say, a samurai sword. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
You've opened up my eyes, you're so unbelievable. I am floating on cloud 9 and it feels so wonderful. You're like a mystery, this love is